What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm here with Jasmine, Brandon, Mano.
New Mano.
And we have an exclusive in their first ever interview from Love After Lockup, Monique and Derek, your favorite couple.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
Okay. So is this your first time in New York City?
This is my first time in New York City, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Derek?
First time in the city, for sure.
This is a big deal. Yeah. Angela loves y'all. She's been talking about this, like wanting to interview y'all forever.
I know.
She was so excited.
I am. Just because the story is so, well, first of all, they always post your clips the most on social media.
Yeah.
Right? And then Monique, you be deleting stuff, posting stuff, then deleting it. I'm like, yo, what is really going on? And I know sometimes we're a little behind as we're watching what's happening on the TV. Y'all have already lived that in real life and are past certain things.
Right.
You know? So let's get into it. You're from Love After Lockup. So Derek, let's start with you.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good.
So you and Monique met because she said she was scrolling through and you guys became pen pals first?
So long story short, I was in at the time, like in the Fed about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was new to social media. So I put my name out there, pictures out there. I wanted to get out there like far as meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
Got into the Facebook group. Monique reached out. That's
Okay.
how it all started.
Were you dating anybody else prior to that? When you first got locked up?
No, I wasn't in a relationship. No, not at all. I ain't got no baby mothers, no kids, no
Mano said,
none of that. I ain't got none of that. I was
Slate, got a clean slate.
I was just getting to it when I was in the streets, you know. That was just part of the chase.
Okay, and you're from Cleveland.
From Cleveland up 216.
Okay. And then Monique, you reached out. Was he the only person you reached out to?
He was the only person that I reached out to.
What attracted you to him?
I mainly like what he said. Like, it wasn't like, I'm looking for a girlfriend to marry. Like, he was basically saying, like, he wanted a friend, you know, somebody to, you know, talk to. And I was interested. I didn't reach out to him as soon as I seen his profile. It took me like a couple days.
Prior to that, you were in a relationship, like how long before that?
No, I've been single. I was single when I met him, but I was also dating at the same time, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you do be going out, and Derek did not like that. Going out with your friends. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now, all right, so then you guys started talking, and then when did you guys decide to take it to the next level?
It was after, well, like, we was in a gray area, so I was, like, out dating, still dealing with my ex, and, like, Derek used to kind of get upset about it. So it was like, okay, we're going to make it official, because we was, you know, kind of arguing about not really knowing what we were at the moment. We knew we cared about each other, but as I was looking at it as, like, he's locked up, he got some time left, and I didn't really want to, like, I still wanted to have fun.
He had 2.5 years left, right? When you guys
yeah.
met?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I was going to ask. How much time he had left when you started talking? Okay.
She met me up in she met me when I was in the Fed. I ended up finishing up my time in the state. I had like a dual sentence. I had to do Fed time first and follow up with the state.
Mm-hmm.
How did y'all keep the relationship going while he was away and, you know, during those 2.5 years?
You want to take the lead?
We talked a lot on the phone. We emailed, wrote letters. So.
Did you ever see him in person?
We didn't, because we met at the start of COVID.
Oh.
So,
okay.
It was like FaceTime, video chat,
Okay.
and texting. I was able to text, things like that. So it kept it going. Letters, just keeping the communication high. Everything like letters, texting, emails, phone calls. I might have the whole team phone and just be on everybody's phone, making sure talk to her. We build that relationship up emotionally and spiritually first, and we got to know each other like through and through.
You know, a lot of people don't understand how one from the outside can connect with somebody on the inside, right? So I understand. I did 10 years myself, right? And when I look at y'all, I see like y'all really connected and really bonded before you even got outside. How was the transition when you got out? Was it easy for you to keep that going, or did you feel yourself being pulled in other ways?
Me, I ask the tough questions. I'm one of those persons. I'm gonna ask the tough questions. That's who I want to be with. So some of the questions I asked her made her told me she was uncomfortable asking, but I just be honest.
What were some of the tough questions? I'm sorry.
So like, like what make her smile? What make her happy? What make her sad? What make her mad? Like these things I can't really see because I'm locked up. We have to experience that, and we didn't have the opportunity to experience that. That's why a lot of that you see a lot of that on TV. Y'all seeing first incidents. Like, this is our first interview. This is our first time traveling to New York. So this like the first. So the world was seeing that for the first time. So that was just like, they seen it first. We living it, they seeing it first. So we living and learning in this space. Because we already did the prison relationship. We was in prison, but we wanted more. And that's what we got.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, not to cut you off. When you do 9 years, that's a lot of time, right? So it's certain things, there's certain experiences that you didn't have socially. Before you went to jail, you was a certain age, and then your life kind of stopped.
Yeah, how old were you when you went in?
I was 20, but I became a man. I did a lot of things at 20, a lot of men my age didn't do. Because I used to ask questions like, you ever met somebody who did such and such? A lot of people said no. So I knew I was different. I was ahead of my time growing up,
Right. So, but once you got out, did you find it hard to adjust to, or rather adapt to being in a relationship in a way that you had never been prior to that? Because now you older, you a man, you got responsibilities, and you got this gap in your life of 9 years of time that's just been gone.
And you're thinking about marriage.
Oh, to answer your question, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely.
It's a challenge, right? So,
yes, it is.
It's rough.
Every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. Just things I've been through, and I wasn't in a serious adult relationship prior to.
Exactly.
So now we learning and we living that experience, and like by trial and error, like what's working for us might not work for yours.
That's right.
And she respect that, and I respect that too.
So, Monique, you were honest about the fact that you were still dealing with your ex when you were talking to Derek and you were out with your friends. He knew that you still had other things going on at first.
Yes.
Okay. And then what made you decide, you know what, I'm getting rid of him and I'm trying to work on this?
It was more so because I was searching for an emotional and mental connection with someone, and Derek gave that to me. Rather than the men that I was dating, it was just more so just like sexual. Like, we didn't really connect on a deep level. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, I'm going to just thug it out with him.
He said, I would like to answer.
Just being me, I just highlighted the differences between them and me. And it spoke for itself. I'm action-based. So if you was getting that prior to me, and I'm showing you this when I'm in there, so imagine when I can show you when I get out. And she felt that.
Now, Monique, were you concerned with the fact that he was locked up for 9 years and then maybe when he comes out, the relationship is going to be different? Because it is different when he's, talking to you all the time, dealing with you all the time, but then he comes home and now he's going to go out and go places and do things. And so were you concerned about that before he came home?
I was very concerned about that because I was very honest with myself. I knew he missed out on a lot of time. And I know when he got home, he was going to experience different things, which is kind of why I was kind of being overprotective of him and like not really wanting him to do things to go back to prison or make him forget about me per se. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
we saw you setting up. We saw you setting up the cameras and everything, right? So it's just like what you just said, right? When you went to jail, you missed out on so much. Right, I know when I came home, I know all the stuff that I thought I was
the spy store. She went to the spy store.
You went to the spy store and got those cameras.
That was wild.
Right, yeah, I'm with that. But do you find it hard to balance trust, right? Because you're dealing with a man that missed out so much on his life and may need to experience things, right? So in essence, when you come home from prison after doing that much time, you're still trying to catch up. So it's certain things that a man wants to do, and he may be getting pulled in certain areas. Are you still, hard on him as far as the trust?
Are you still spying on him?
Yeah. Because that is wild. I mean, to set up cameras in the house secretly, that's a lot.
Or you getting better? Which one?
Or are you not?
I'm trying to give him a little bit more leeway. Like, we're not really sharing locations currently at the moment because it's like, I want to trust you. Like, I don't want to be driving myself crazy.
That's right.
Checking to see where you at in the middle of the night. So I kind of lighten up a lot because we see each other a lot more now.
Okay,
all right, let's keep it real. All right, since you keep it so real. But there was a situation where you did get caught, and even watching the show, like when you watch back, there was that car chase that everybody was talking about, where he said it was his sisters at first, and then he was acting like he didn't know who it was, but then come to find out it was a CO who I guess was you had a prior situation with, and you told us before you really told her? Like, you was on TV and you was having a conversation with her on speaker, knowing exactly what was going on, but you was in there like, I don't know who this is.
He was acting.
Yeah.
He was carrying
Just
on.
trust me, had I known it was a female he was dealing with, I definitely would have pulled over.
Right.
But at that point, when we were in the car, I'm like, I know these ain't his sisters because they just driving too crazy. Like, because at first I thought it was some guys in the back seat because he was just coming home.
Right.
So that's why I was like scared and screaming like that because I'm thinking like maybe somebody trying to rob us. I don't know.
Yeah, that is scary. And somebody, I think I saw that you had just got your license. Like,
Yeah.
really, that's a scary. Now you're in a high speed car chase. That just got your license. You don't know who it is, and I was a little disappointed in you at that point.
Why was that?
Just because I'm like, yo, like,
Because you were lying.
Yeah.
That's why.
I can respect that.
But come on, let's be real. It's gonna happen though.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
realistic.
I knew I feel in control of the situation because I was in my city. I knew one nobody after me. I just knew who it was. I feel like it could have got worse if the car was stopped.
But Monique was crying. She was scared. Like, she really did not
Yeah,
know
she ain't really
She
know
was
what
terrified.
who that was.
I had her though. I had her. I
He
made
didn't want to
sure-
get caught.
I just
Like,
made
go,
sure.
go, go.
I made sure I held it down.
Off, I get you.
I ain't gonna lie, like-
He had to. He was committed.
Because the situation with that situation wasn't what I wanted. I'm talking about far as the situation with the CEO, it wasn't what I wanted. That's what she wanted. I wanted this. I wanted Monique. And, you know, she wanted, the CEO wanted more. And I told her it wasn't that.
Right.
So
Do y'all
she
watch
just-
these episodes together? Because I'm sure there were some things that you saw for the first time. And I'm sure for you, Derek, too, there were some things you saw for the first time when y'all weren't filming together and watching those episodes. Do you guys watch them together, or how does that work?
Yeah, for the most part, we watch most of the episodes together.
And so are there times when you're like, oh, I didn't know all that happened?
There's been a couple instances where I didn't know about certain things he was saying.
Can you give us an example?
I didn't know his family knew about the CEO when he was sitting there showing a tablet.
He was showing the pictures.
You know,
like,
I
that's
didn't
her,
know
right?
that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was there anything other that you didn't know that you discovered or, you know, kind of were surprised when you watched it about something that she said or something that you saw about her?
It wasn't that. It was some things. It was like so small. I don't even remember them. Like the conversation she had with her sister. Like, you gotta speak a little bit more highly of me to your sisters, though. You know, I'm a little bit better than what your sisters think about me, and that's right.
Now he is.
Do you feel like you all are edited fairly on the show?
Now, they get theirs in. I ain't gonna lie. They get theirs in. They get theirs in because I ain't gonna lie. And another thing, that's crazy. When she was doing her interview, I ain't think that was gonna be on the show.
What interview? Oh, when I was cussing him out.
Yeah, I ain't think that was gonna be on the show.
I didn't know they
Y'all
was
cussing-
filming.
Yeah, 'cause
So I was just like going off. Like I
You
didn't
talking
think-
about when you talking to show you
360.
the
Yeah,
360?
that was
Because I'm
crazy.
thinking like we on break.
Oh,
They
wow.
was like, okay, we on the break. So I called them.
So they
that-
get everything.
And I was really with the homies.
Right.
They was
So
just
there
taking us to a
wasn't
nice
nobody
dinner.
sitting next to
It
you that
wasn't.
you told them move out the way.
It wasn't.
It seemed like it was only because I feel like the phone died or something happened. I was like,
It was a great edit. I ain't gonna lie.
okay.
I ain't gonna lie. They put instant replay in there. I couldn't believe. I'm like, wow, that was crazy.
Monique was not feeling it.
All right, now let's talk about this too, Monique, because your weight has been a topic of discussion. I saw you going back and forth on social media. Like, why would people think that Derek wouldn't like you because of that? Because it does feel like he's very into you. So why do you think that people criticize that and really try to act like this isn't possible?
I think TV really don't show a plus size woman being loved correctly, especially by a man who's attractive. You know what I mean? Because I've been insecure when I was younger, but in my adult years, like, I don't have trouble finding a man. People think like I was really peddling through pen pal websites to find a man. No, I just so happened came across Derek. And I pretty much was more interested in what he was saying rather than what he looked like. So...
And Derek, and on your behalf, some people feel like Monique is too good for you. Like she just treats you too good. They also feel like she pays for things and that you're out here doing you and she's holding you down. She held you down while you were locked up. Then you came home. She's, handling things. I know at one point they thought you paid that crazy bill for dinner, but it turns out production paid that $500 bill. Is that correct?
I don't like how that became a big thing. Like, this is the man I love and I care about. Even if he did want to come home and he wanted to try everything on the menu, I will get that for him. I'm not gonna deprive him of anything.
Why is that?
You know
though?
what I'm saying?
Because I do it for her.
Right. So
Exactly.
it's like if he want to
The same
say he want to
thing.
have lamb chops, crab legs, whatever the case may be, go ahead and get that.
That's right.
You
Like-
was like this a lot.
But look, but look, check this out though. Did anybody catch the part when I came home with $9,000 on my
On his
account?
book.
Okay.
Ain't nobody catch that?
No, I didn't catch
Ain't nobody
it.
talking about that, is there?
Listen, if we
You know what I'm
caught it, we
saying?
definitely will be talking about
I'm
it.
saying, I was in the bank for a minute. They couldn't. WeTV couldn't even believe it.
Right.
How you do that? You know?
So you put $9,000.
That was none of my
That was
money.
his money.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
his
his own
money.
money. He came home with that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And look, and that is true.
You
like,
know.
because I
if
also
you know, you know.
it is hard when you first get out too to also even be able to like be properly situated sometimes. You know, you got to get a job, you got to get some place to live, all of those things. And I know it's not easy right away. You got to kind of get back on your feet. So how has that process been for you?
It's been smooth because I've been planning for my release date ever since I stepped in. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying I was ahead of my time, like growing up, period. So I'm always thinking about the future. So with that being said, I was planning since day one when I got my sentence. I knew I had to get myself together so I won't be back in that same situation. This is prime example. Cause I don't know if y'all gonna ask like how we got on the show. I ain't want to be on the show.
How did y'all get on the show?
Organically. Go ahead, speak on it. We ain't signed no application up. I know that much.
Yeah, we didn't apply for the show. Actually, I was
We
in like
got
this
to.
Facebook like prison wife girlfriend group, like with other prison wives in there, and like I guess like one of the casting directors was in there, and she like inboxed me, and we were talking, we were communicating, and she liked our story. And
a
Derek
compelling
really
story.
didn't want to do it. He thought they was the feds. Like,
Street. I'm
Right,
street.
Right, you didn't know that this is a
I'm
real
telling you,
show.
this real. I'm talking about this real life.
Right.
Like, they looking at, I know my story, you know, and then I know her story. So I'm like,
Right.
ain't nobody else want to get into because I had somebody from my area. The feds was recording them when he was shooting his documentaries. That was the feds. So I'm like, you seriously? So I had to really take a look into this. It took us like 60, 90 days really to say, yeah, we're going to do this.
Yeah, because for people who don't know, they might feel like y'all are just in a fake relationship. Sometimes people think that because a lot of reality TV is not for real reality, right, Mano?
It's not reality at all.
And so sometimes people think it's all these like made up things and y'all together just to get a check to be on TV. But this was them approaching you because you was in this group. So it wasn't like y'all applied to be on this and like, let's pretend to be in a relationship.
Right.
This was a real thing.
This was real.
Right. It's
Like
real.
some people do got to sign up. I don't knock them for that.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own story, I say, until you stay on. We ain't have to do that.
Have you noticed now that you're on the show that you all both get more attention? Like I'm sure there are lots of men in your DMs, lots of women in your DMs. Now that you're on the show, do you guys notice more of that?
I feel it when I'm in person in the streets and people come up to me like, y'all so relatable. We telling other people's stories, though. And it's so real. I'm like, I'm going to keep, we going to keep doing it for y'all. We going to keep, what I'm saying, being that motivation, inspiration. When they be hitting our DMs, I be feeling it. You can probably hear it in my voice. Like showing love to Monique and her showing love to me. It's like, we doing it for like the culture. So I respect it all day. So I got to most definitely get some credit to my supporters. Like we got supporters that support us for real. Not most definitely. I feel it.
Right. And Monique, I saw on Life After Lockup, there was a cliffhanger, right? If you're pregnant or not. So can we have a drink or no?
y'all will find out tonight.
I'm like, are we having a
Well,
toast or?
Regardless of whatever you are now, are you all interested in having children? Are you open to that?
I'm open to having kids.
Okay.
We talked about it always. We want to have kids for sure.
Okay.
Right.
What about marriage?
We working on that.
He got that ring, baby.
We working on that.
Like
And my
this,
jewelry's
man.
still open. My jewelry's still open. It's just a glitch in Google too. I got him on that. It say it's closed. We all looking. He's still open.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Family. Because it seems like that causes a lot of
Oh, man, here
issues
this go. I
in
ain't
the
gonna
relationship
lie.
on both of your sides. Now, Derek, I saw your sister was on live and she was trying to say that you guys had, were abusive toward each other physically. Right? So what is the situation with that?
We ain't putting our hands on each other. We have our arguments, but it ain't coming to physical blows, nothing like that.
How do you feel about your sisters? Because I know that's a difficult position to be in. Your sisters clearly don't like Monique.
That's
and
a long story.
in return, she clearly doesn't like them because of, how they treat her. So how do you move forward like that?
Like if you ain't for us, you ain't for me. That's how I've been moving on. That's with anybody, family, friends, whoever. Because she loved me. You'll see, like my father's side, they love her.
Yeah, they seem
like
very
she
nice.
was like she was born in the family. But you know, that's how it is. You know, my mother's side, they ain't so much embracing the situation because they feel like I got a type. And then I looked at it and talked to my, you know, my core supporters of my family. Like, I'm looking at my old lineup. I looked like I did have a type.
What was the type?
But that was then. That was when I was 20, you know, and younger. The type was like light skin, you know, taller, like probably like 5'8", with the long hair, light eyes. I'm just being real.
So they're saying she's not your type.
That's what the, you know,
Gotcha.
that's what the stereotypical, that's what my family would say and spoke on. Like, she's not what I usually go for far as the superficial, the surface.
Gotcha.
They don't know the inside what I know. Like, they don't know the character. That's what I'm going on
And
for.
that's what's more important.
That's what we standing on because I done been through a lot. Because
And
I done had them come around when I was locked up.
Right.
But guess what? They was short lived.
That's right.
They was short lived. They would probably be in the mailbox or in a couple months. I just did 8 years, 10 months, 5 days, day for day.
Right.
And I stood tall. That's why I got that right there with me when I stepped in. Cause that's how.
Yes, sir.
That's the statement of reasons, not for public disclosure.
Okay.
What
feel
is
me?
that? I don't know what that means.
This the whole
I don't know jail terms.
This a whole breakdown where you break down your whole sentence.
That's right.
This only supposed to the judge, the prosecutor, and your lawyer supposed to see this. Nobody else.
Right.
This why I'm embraced for my city right here. Cause I was 20. I was really this the transcripts too. Cause that's what I know what New York like. Cause I was just up
have
there.
this with
You
you.
gotta have your
Not playing no
transcripts.
games.
You
I
gotta
was
have your
wondering, like,
transcripts.
why he
paperwork?
Boy, this
Yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah.
No, you
But-
had to get,
but
you had to
listen.
get a permission
Yeah.
to come here. actually.
Yeah, for sure. I just went down there. But that's what she know this. Like, she know my character. She know I'm a good person. And she know I'm standing on principles.
That's right.
She gave me love and loyalty. She was real. I just returned that same energy because I gave it out in the streets, to the homies, to the gang, to the members. And I'm like, I grew up now. I done grew up when I was in the feds. I done grew up and learned so much. I'm gonna get that same energy to my girl. Anybody else who stand on that gonna love that and embrace that. That's what's going on.
Man, I respect this.
See,
nigga.
there we go,
You
man. I
feel
knew
me?
Maiden was gonna love this.
Yeah, that's the difference. No, you know, I'm just speaking because I learned a lot from trial and error. A lot of things I was doing, just living and learning. I was bumping my head, and now like look at all these doors opening up now by doing the right thing.
How long you been out?
I've been out since August 21st.
Okay.
And Monique's sisters don't.
22?
Yeah,
And Monique's sisters don't seem to like you either. Now, how is that
The
situation?
sister's not feeling either
It's-
side,
No,
huh?
that's what I'm saying. It's the family sometimes that causes so many issues.
It's up and down. It's up and down. It's good and bad, you know.
But my sisters don't get too much into my business like his sisters do.
Right, they're
Like
not
they'll
as-
voice their opinion, and then Monique gonna do whatever she gonna do.
You ran over one of his sisters.
Oh.
I didn't,
She fell on the ground. She was like, "Yeah."
Crazy.
Monique crazy.
But you didn't hit her.
no, she just
fell
fell
on
out in front of the
ground.
car, like just dramatic.
Now, what about when you found out that Derek did cheat, though, right? And you did admit that you did cheat. You stepped out. You said it was early when you had first gotten home. So how was that for you getting over that? Because we saw he went really hard to try to win you back.
It definitely was hard to get over it, just because I'm like, I done did so much for this man. Like, we done been through so much, and it's like a week out, you already cheating.
But see, then on the flip side, I feel like we was in the gray area. It's that same area we was in before we got together. So I feel like, and then she helped me look at that, like, even if we in the gray area, I ain't cheat. So I'm like, damn.
What's a great? What do you mean we were
Like
in a
where
great
we had
area?
like,
Arguing and fighting all the time.
and it's like, it's like,
It wasn't clear.
I feel like,
And that was the first week out. You guys were
yeah,
arguing. Okay.
but it wasn't so much of us though. We love each other. We love them, but it was her family, my family. Like it was causing strain on our relationship. And you'll see the car with. We weren't arguing about each other. We were arguing because what just took place with my sisters and outside noise.
Right.
A lot of arguments don't even come from us. It come from outside noise, and that's why once we move right along, we be good. We smile and happy all day, but it's be the outside noise.
Right.
So y'all in one city now?
no,
Still long
Still.
distance.
But I come and
been out
visit
there.
him a lot, so
Like what, every week?
probably like every other week. But then I stay for like a week or two.
So
Yeah.
How were you able to forgive him, though, for that?
She's working on it.
I'm working on it. I haven't completely got over it.
So with the fact that you know that he's been in jail all that time, and you know it's kind of likely or realistic to understand that a man may make a mistake or three. Or
I wasn't in denial
3 or
about him
5.
cheating.
Right.
I was more so hurt that it happened so soon.
Oh,
Like it happened, a week out while I was in his city. Like
It was a bad look. It was a
okay.
bad look. But like I said, the only thing, and I ain't really trying to want to make excuses, but I just feel like we separated on bad terms.
you and the person that you cheated?
No,
No,
her.
him and
Oh,
We
okay.
was arguing, but we was
Arguing.
arguing with my sister though. It was like my sisters, my family, like causing putting a strain on us, and she like, wait, we had an argument we never had before. And it was on TV. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't even get like that. I'd be like, wait, cool, but there was just so much going on. Cause a lot of the time I ain't talking about the jail. I ain't trying to be in no violence and around none of that because I've been there. I done that. So I'm trying to stay away from that, and I ain't trying to put her in harm's way either. So I'm like, come on, we got to move better than that.
Right.
Even if people like being negative, we can't match that energy. Then she like, sometimes you can. I'm like, no, I'm cool. Like, cause my negativity is totally different. Cause I've been in prisons and level 7s, and it's totally different. Like, y'all can talk and it be done and over with. I just seen when talking and ain't done and over with.
Right, it escalates.
It get bloody.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, y'all can get over that.
Mm-hmm.
Like my sister, but she keeps saying they can't. I'm like, how y'all can't? It's just words. And it escalated. And I'm like,
When you guys do get married, you think your sisters will come to the wedding?
They're not invited.
I know they want to. For their own reasons. They want
She answered
to.
that real quick.
They most definitely want to.
Would y'all film it? Would you like a wedding special or something like that?
They'd love to do that.
Who was
Yeah,
they? The
that'd be
fans?
dope.
or
That'd be-
Everybody.
Successful
for
couple,
sure.
man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We gonna make it. They gonna want to definitely film that.
Yo, are y'all going? Would you like to have your own show or do something separately off of this show?
Because I'll be waiting for your segments
most
to come
definitely.
on. I'm like,
We
all right,
wanna do
maybe-
that.
Yeah, that's what Angela's like. I'm just waiting for them.
Tell them that's what you want.
I mean, we appreciate, WeTV, the opportunity and everything. So we want to continue to work with them and possibly
Explore
do
other,
something
explore
more.
other opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Now, Monique, I saw another issue that you were concerned about was Derek. He was using drugs, right? I saw you saying, I just want to make sure you're not going and doing all of that. And, why did you even think that?
I never thought he was using drugs until he was on the phone with his, what was that, the PO, asking him like what drugs he used in the past. Yeah, so it's like when he was saying all the things, I never knew he did that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like new information. But I mean, he's been clean and sober while he was in prison. When
Right.
came
He didn't have a
out.
choice, right? And
No, you got choices for sure. Don't get it twisted. You got choices. You can go either way you want to go. It's available in there. Like, I'm gonna just say,
Yeah, most certainly.
I'm gonna just say this though. I got some of the best lawyers in the city though. So,
okay.
So because he had to understand that, like, she like, why you saying that? Like, it's just how some things got to be.
How they treat you in Cleveland now?
They treat me good. They treat her good too.
Right, they love
They call her sister. All that, you think it'd be like a lot of hate, but they call her sister. They think like, tell her how you just was in Cleveland, how they was treating you.
Yeah, I was in a store and they was like, "Oh, you really out here? We thought y'all was fake. Like
Why
y'all
do
wasn't in a
people not look-
relationship." It's
I
like
don't know.
People
we were
used to
together
show
before
being
TV. Like,
And I don't think people realize y'all were together before the show.
Right.
Like, y'all were already
we were
in a
already
relationship.
together.
Yeah,
we didn't
before-
apply to be on the show.
right.
So,
Right. I don't think that registered.
And we had our
Yeah.
trials and tribulations before the show.
Right.
Right.
Now, the first day out, what was that like the first night together?
It was epic. I'm be honest with him.
Be honest.
Honest.
You,
I shed a
there's no other
tear.
way.
I ain't gonna lie.
Shed a
I
tear.
shed a tear.
That's
We
right.
cried together the first
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, that's
they ain't
really
catch that.
sweet.
Did you cry?
Y'all caught that. I ain't catch that.
Did you cry out of joy of being home?
Man, it was everything.
Right.
When I left,
Mm-hmm.
where I was at, and where I know where I was finna go.
That's right.
It was everything. I couldn't believe I cried in front of her, but it was just so real because I knew what we've been through and what we got.
Right.
Other people don't understand what we got. We go hard like that?
Go ahead.
Her mother could say, no, not him. And guess what? We gonna still be like this because they just don't know. Because her mother and her husband know what they got. They just don't know what we got. And we showing them every day what we got. We showing each other every day what we got. So it hit different.
What about couples counseling? Have y'all done that? Because, you know, people always say that in order to stay together, sometimes it's necessary to bring in a third party to really help out.
I was doing counseling for my, parole and all that too. So I definitely think it's good. For sure.
Would you be open to it, Monique?
Yeah, I'll be open to it.
Okay.
Somebody we can relate to.
Right.
I'm going to most definitely speak on that because some people be trying to have an opinion. They just come in with statistics and like textbook book read. Like, come for me like if you can been through some things so you can understand in that moment how it was. Because don't be like, oh, that was wrong, because in that moment it might have been right.
You know, I don't think people even understand all the pain that you've been through.
No.
Even before you got locked up. I saw your whole story with your mom. And I know I saw that she had gotten killed, and then you felt like you never had a chance to properly grieve before you ended up getting locked up. What did you learn about yourself in counseling?
The things I've been through, it made me a man. It made me stronger, it made me smarter. And I feel like I always had to be strong for my family. So it just made me better, I had to be better for those who weren't here and who I wanted to make proud. My mother would be happy to be here, at the situation I'm going through. She'd be right here. So, I'm just doing it for those who I know, like, right now they smiling. So.
Monique, what are some things that you feel like people don't know about you before all of this that you wish they would, that maybe they didn't get a chance to see on the show?
That I'm not so crazy. I'm also not insecure like people may think. They think like I'm just like smothering Derek and I don't want him to have a relationship with his family. I don't mind him having a relationship with people, or let alone his family. I just want them to be a positive influence in his life that'll steer him in the right direction. So that's all. In retrospect, though, do you think the cameras, do you think the GPS
thing,
on the phone and all of that, you think that's excessive?
I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing locations.
What about them cameras?
Derek is sneaky. So he's sneaky.
Let me ask you this.
Derek is sneaky.
He is.
I'm clever.
This guy.
I
see it now, Monique. I see it.
I get it. What's the craziest rumor y'all heard about each other or yourself or whatever since you've been doing the show?
It's so many.
Oh, the craziest one I heard that I was married and I don't take care of my son. I got a son somewhere.
Oh.
What?
What's the craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Oh, my sister was some partner of mine.
Yeah, sister was.
Oh, you know what? Because they say that she's so overprotective of you. They're like, why does she care so much?
Like, if y'all look at the show, it say Derek's sister.
Right.
She had a transition. Okay. But the thing about it, though, it's like, what about those that I embraced it? I love who you want to love, be who all you want to be.
That's right.
So I'm grown.
But you said she had to transition.
Yeah, like.
He's saying
she's a transgender.
She's a trans.
So when I'm saying then, I embraced it. So I'm like, that's supposed to be like happy, like,
right.
That's who she is and whatnot. So I'm like, I ain't reading the caption. It say Derek's sister.
Right.
That was just like far-fetched. That's my sister. Like, that's it.
Right. Period.
Monique is very
that's my mother's daughter.
Right.
Yes.
Monique is very forgiving of you, and she's patient with you, and I'm sure you're patient with her. If anything was to ever happen where she maybe
stepped out, or
could
you forgive?
Yeah, would you be able to be as forgiving as she is to you?
Oh, that's a great question.
No.
Yeah, she know the answer. She answered it for me.
I mean, you say that now, but she did have to deal with a lot and forgive a lot, and you did have to really win her back. It could have been a situation where you did what you was doing, and then maybe she was feeling unloved, and y'all had a break, like you said. It was a gray area.
It was a gray area.
Because there was like a month, right, that y'all didn't speak.
I'm gonna try to not make the mistake, so she won't do that. What I did. I'm gonna do everything I need to do. Give her all her, satisfy all her wants and her needs, and I'm gonna ask her, I do it good? I take care of you how I'm supposed to? So it won't happen. So it won't be like that.
It won't be like that because he ain't handling it. He ain't gonna handle it.
I'm holding it down. I'm holding it down. I'm out now. I'm holding it down. She held me down. I'm holding it down. flat out.
Are you a hero now? Back for the guys that you was locked up with? Are they like, yeah?
Yeah, they most definitely they my support. I got the jails, the prisons, the feds. They watching me every Friday. They getting ready for me. You know, they making their little cook-ups. You know, they full. They watch. They tuning in. I was really there because I was really there.
Yeah.
I was really there in the trenches.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, right? I don't even watch TV. I don't even watch TV, but they can relate. Like whether it's I was in the streets with them, from the neighborhood, playing football, went to high school. People can relate because they know me. They know my story. Now it's really highlighted because on TV. And I just left prison, state and federal. So it's like he can do it. He can stop doing what he was doing in the streets. Cause now y'all know I ain't want to be on the show. Because be honest, if I wasn't on the show, I'm gonna be all the way honest, I probably would still be in the streets.
Right.
Cause that temptation is it's wicked. And I was getting to it. I was at a high level when I was out at 20. I wasn't just on the lower levels. Mm-hmm. So
now
it's been a
financially
blessing.
and career-wise, what happens next?
So we build a team. We trying to like explore, with our own show, doing that. My fitness, I'm going to school to be a personal trainer, physical therapist. I'm into that. And I got some things like with opened up my own ventures with podcasts.
Dope.
And I'm like into like being active in my community, nonprofit. Mm-hmm. Like I got an organization I'm working on with the youth through sports and athletics. I was big on that growing up. So I'm doing that. And I had some opportunities to play some parts of movies. I want to do some documentaries too about my stories of my city, things like that, my stories.
That's right.
A lot of my fallen soldiers who ain't here no more, the ones behind the wall, they got story. Everybody got story. Mm-hmm. I ain't even believe in myself until I got around somebody who seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. And I see that in a lot of people now.
That's great. Paying it forward. And Monique, I know you already have a job, but like, what's next for you?
Working through my weight loss surgery. Mm-hmm. I'm also looking to expand in like the hair business, do cosmetics, like lip kits, eyebrow kits. So that should be coming out soon.
Okay. And is somebody going to move somewhere? Is somebody going to move to Cleveland? Somebody going to move to Chicago?
No, she coming to me. No, she coming to me. That might be next week, so we can come back from New York. So
locking it in.
Yeah, it's a good month. It's a good month.
All right. Well, we'll be tuned in.
Yeah, we will.
To Life After Lockup. And then I can't wait to see what you guys have coming up next. But I did want to bring y'all up here just because people act like this relationship isn't real for some reason. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted people to see, because when I watch it, I could see, especially when you was trying to win her back. And you was going so hard. You was buying the candles. And
it's a little bit more too. They didn't get that.
What else?
Listen, they are so cute. He's holding her, grabbing her hand whenever he feel like she needs him. He touches her.
Yeah. But what you said is a little more. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying they gave some candles.
We saw the flowers, the candles.
That's it. That's why we still good, because it's a little bit more. I'm doing a little bit more.
A little bit more. All right.
Always a little bit more.
All right. Well, we are definitely rooting for y'all. So you can't come up here and then not work out.
Right.
That is some accountability. But Monique and Derek, love after lockup, life after lockup, and then marriage after lockup. We can't.
Kids after lockup.
Yep, babies after lockup, and then
speak it into existence.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's been going on. It's been working for us too.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming through. I appreciate you guys really traveled here to do this interview, to give us this exclusive for the first time. And hopefully it was a good experience for you.
It was.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Nice meeting y'all.